What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports, back again with another one. Boxing got off to a slow start in 2023, but it's picking up a lot of steam as the month of March. It's got a lot of good fights. And we have a great matchup tonight in Australia, aka the Kangaroo Country. Down under, we're gonna have the WBO interim junior middleweight champion, undefeated Tszyu, taking on top 5 junior middleweight former world champion Tony Harrison. This is a good litmus test for Tszyu, because if you ain't elite, you're not gonna beat Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison, even on that elite stage, has shown that he belongs on that level, as he defeated Jamel Charlo in a decision win. In a rematch, he was leading early but got dropped multiple times and ended up getting stopped, as he was behind at the time of the stoppage on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. But he's a guy that when he's focused and he don't have stamina issues, he's one of the best fighters in the junior middleweight divisions. He's one of the most skilled fighters in boxing. This is going to be a good test for Tszyu. Now, Tszyu is a guy that likes to come forward, bring the pressure. He's a hook artist. He likes to throw hooks to the body. He likes to throw hooks to the head. He likes to back you up, get you to fighting off the back foot, and he likes to walk you down and bring the constant pressure. He's a very hard puncher. I'm not going to say he's a guy that knocks you out with one punch. He don't have a PhD in the one-hitter quitters like a Deontay Wilder has or Gervonta Tank Davis, but he has those thudding punches. He kind of reminds me of Errol Spence Jr. in that regard. He brings the pressure, he works you to the body, he breaks you down, and ultimately stops you, as he has 21 wins, 0 losses, 15 KOs. Now, he's going in there with a guy that's very technically sound, very fundamentally sound, a guy that's, when you talk about pound for pound skilled fighters in boxing today, Tony Harrison is probably top 10. He's right up there with the Terrence Crawfords of the world, the Shakur Stevensons of the world, the Devin Haney's of the world, the Gervonta Tank Davises of the world. Guys that are on a whole nother level skill-wise. But the problem with Tony Harrison is he has stamina issues and he has a hard time staying focused for 12 rounds. But in his last fight against Sergio Mario, he put on a masterpiece performance. It was Picasso performance against Sergio Mario, as he was able to control him with the jab, throw beautiful combinations, tame him with the right hand, and control distance in his best performance of his professional career, in my opinion. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. He's going to be looking to establish the jab, as he has, in my opinion, the best jab at 154. He's going to be looking to double up on that jab and make Tszyu reset. And he's going to be looking to tame Tszyu with the right hand. He must keep the fight in the middle of the ring. If his back is against the ropes, if he allows Tszyu to back him up, he's going to be in a world of trouble. It's just going to be a matter not if, but when he gets stopped. So he's going to definitely have to keep that fight in the middle of the ring. So we will see what happens. And we will see what transpires. I like Tszyu to win in the late rounds. I like for him to stop Tony Harrison in the late rounds. I look for him to win either by split decision. I think he's going to close the distance. I think he's going to kind of wear down Tony Harrison. It's going to take him a while to wear him down. I think early on, when he's looking at a fresh Tony Harrison, a guy that's a very superior athlete to Tszyu and a superior boxer technically and fundamentally, I think he's going to have issues with him early on. But I think as the fight goes on, and with those body punches, I think he slowly but surely wears down Tony Harrison and stops him in the 11th round. If Tony Harrison somehow makes it to the final bell, I think he loses a very close decision to Tszyu. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it'd be like a split decision win for Tszyu, as he goes through one of his toughest, not one of his toughest, he goes through his toughest fight of his professional career. He has now fought a fighter of the caliber of a Tony Harrison. Now, when I looked at his resume, I was thinking like, man, this dude ain't fought nobody but Terrell Gausha. But when you look at his resume, he got some good wins, man. He beat Steve Sparks, he beat Jeff Horn, he beat Terrell Gausha. He got another good win over a top fighter, man. I can't remember the guy's name, but he got basically 4 solid wins on his resume. He don't have the caliber fight on his resume of a Tony Harrison, but it's not like he ain't fought nobody. I was thinking when I looked at his resume, because I really hadn't seen him fight outside of the Tszyu Gaucher fight live. So I was like, man, this dude ain't fought nobody. How the hell was he in prime position to take on undisputed junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo? But when you look at his resume, he's got some solid wins. Now, he don't have a J. Rock Williams on his resume. He don't have a Jared Hurd on his resume. He don't even have a Brian Castano on his resume. But he does have some solid names on his resume. But again, this will be his toughest test. He has never fought a fighter that brings the skill set to the table like a Tony Harrison. So we're going to find a lot about Tszyu. If he's able to beat Tony Harrison, then we can say that he's ready for the top dog at 154, Jermell Charlo. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. This is basically a win in advance type of fight. You know, we're in the midst of March Madness in college basketball, and this is basically the same format as far as this fight goes, because the winner of this fight will get the undisputed junior middleweight champion, Jermell Charlo. The loser of this fight will have to get in the back of the line and reestablish himself in the junior middleweight division. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But I like Tszyu late in this fight by 11th round stoppage. If it does go to the judges, I like him to win a very close, razor-thin, split decision victory over Tony Harrison, as I think after the 6th round in the second half of the fight, I think Tszyu slowly but surely implements his style of fighting, and that will consist of him backing up Tony Harrison on the ropes and going to the body and hitting him with hard shots. He has a real good right hand too. I did not mention that in this video. He has a real good right hand. Very short, compact, thudding right hand. He's going to be looking to rock Tony Harrison with the right hand. And that's basically what's going to boil down to in this fight. Tony Harrison's left jab versus Tszyu's right hand. If Tszyu can time that jab and come over the top with the right hand and basically make Tony Harrison gun-shy as far as using that jab, then he has pretty much took away Tony Harrison's #1 weapon, and it's just going to be a matter of when, not if, he stops Tony Harrison. So Tony Harrison must establish that jab. He's going to be looking to punch with Tszyu. Tszyu got to be careful, man. He got dropped early in that fight with Tszyu Gaucher, trying to punch with the Tszyu Gaucher. Tszyu Gaucher shot got there quicker than Tszyu shot got there, and he dropped Tszyu with a shot he didn't see. Tony Harrison is a much better fighter as far as timing his opponent, punching with his opponent, getting his shot off quicker, because he's going to have the superior hand speed over Tszyu. So he's going to be looking to get in that type of exchange that Tszyu Gaucher was able to get into when he dropped Tszyu. If he's able to do that, he's a more powerful puncher than Tszyu Gaucher. So if he drops him, he could have Tszyu badly hurt, and he could finish Tszyu early in this fight and surprise a lot of boxing pundits who have him as an underdog going into this fight. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts on who you like in this particular matchup. Do you like Tszyu, undefeated junior middleweight #1 contender in the WBO? Do you like the old wily veteran, the more skillful fighter, the guy that's been in there with the better competition, Tony Harrison, who has 3 losses, has been stopped in all 3 of his fights, but has been on the elite level at 154 pounds? Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.